It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Trubisky. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On third down, Trubisky escaping the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Jones had a nice game last week against Tampa Bay. 10 catches, 143 yards. That's his 3rd game this year over 100 yards. But, CD, it's another game without a touchdown catch.
That's so hard to believe, isn't it? 11 straight regular season games without a TD. And the last one, November 26, 2017, a victory over Tampa Bay when he had 2 scoring catches. So he's doing all this work. He's making big plays. Defenses still have to adjust to him and open up things for other people, but he can't find the end zone. The bottom line, though, they got to win this past week, and that's what they were looking for.
Now Ryan going underneath. It's Coleman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
22.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Bears about to gain possession again, and this is a team that's still atop the NFC North, though they did see their 3-game winning streak come to an end in tough fashion in Miami. You know, they lost by 3, and that was a game, though, that they led for most of it.
Certainly did. Look at the leads they had, 14-7, 21-10, 28-21. And with as well as their defense has played this year, you would have thought they'd be able to put this one away. I think this is going to be a game for their head coach, Matt Nagy, to be able to look at his team and say, guess what, guys? We've played well, but we haven't arrived. That 3-game winning streak is gone now because we let one get away. Let's see if they can get refocused and get ready for the New England Patriots.
Trubisky playing with a lot of confidence. 9 touchdown passes in his last 2 starts. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
You see it? You see it?
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Possession back over the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a team that broke a 3-game losing streak, and boy, did they need that win last week against Tampa Bay. But the injuries are still a problem. In fact, they had 3 new injuries surface in that victory.
Remember the injuries we were talking about were on the defensive side of the ball. Linebacker Deion Jones, the 2 safeties, right? You talk about Keanu Neal, and, of course, Ricardo Allen. Both of them gone for the year, it appears. This time it's on the offensive side. Hot rookie wide receiver Calvin Ridley out with an ankle injury, didn't return in that ball game. Mohamed Sanu had a 35-yard touchdown pass that he hauled in, but missed the second half with a hip problem. And the kicker, Matt Bryant, knocks down a 57-yard field goal with a little over a minute to play in the 4th quarter, but pulls a hamstring on his kicking leg. Amazing the amount of injuries the Falcons have had to endure.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 right at the 30. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cullen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Being chased out left. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all day? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least 1 each week. Week 6, it was Miami and the Bears with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season.
And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To throw again is Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the ball is knocked out. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
21. 11.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Flushed out right. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Now Trubisky to throw on second. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, switching gears for a second, let's talk about all the offense that's been going on around the league.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've had 3 games where each team has scored 40 points. That didn't happen all of last year. And the most recent example, Week 6, that incredible 43-40 Pats win over the Chiefs.
A lot of people talk about when you make rules changes or you emphasize certain things that you have unintended consequences. Let's not kid ourselves. This was the intended consequence. Open up offenses, more scoring. We're seeing that, and we're seeing it, and fans are loving it. Defensive coordinators are hating it, but fans are loving it. And how about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, that New England-Kansas City game? Big throw for big throw, touchdown for touchdown, and Brady guides them to a field goal to win it in the end.
Yeah, the elder statesman, because Patrick Mahomes was just 5 years old when Tom Brady threw his first touchdown pass. In trouble here, and down he goes, back at the 8-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it. set them back 5. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Coleman has it here right side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now Ryan on first down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's finally out of bounds, but he gets it to the 25. What a return. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And with great field position here, chance for some points before the break.
That's prime real estate. Just have to decide how they want to try and take their shot to try and put those points on the board.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes out.
And, it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. This is Howard on second down. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, this gives us a chance to look ahead to some big Week 7 games upcoming. New England, Chicago, that's intriguing. Carolina and Philly, you have that game. And then how about Dallas and Washington? They're a combined 6-5, but they're playing for first place in the NFC East.
And just think, Dallas and Washington fans, when they have children, the first words they teach them are, "We hate that rival team. And now they're going to get after it for first place in the East. The records aren't great, but the rivalry is strong. New England, Chicago. Chicago let one get away last week against Miami, but still they have high hopes in the NFC North, and they get to test their mettle against a perennial champion, the New England Patriots. And Carolina, Philly. Carolina had a tough one in Washington last week. Philadelphia, big win last Thursday against New York Giants in New York. That's a big, big ball game for both of them.
The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Trubisky. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Jones on the return. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Well.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Coleman. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Coleman now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
This is Coleman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Wide open receiver, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And the They'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold them up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there or the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it take it away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
3 down. 180.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On second down, here's Trubisky. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Bears on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
Touchdown, Falcons. Kevin Coleman, 35 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Gotta go.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. There he goes, left side. 20, 10, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard, 75 yards. And the Bears cut into that lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Get up!
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.